Sorry, I had to get that out. Hi, everyone. I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy, and to quote Samara Weaving at the end of Ready or Not, effing rich people. Hi, everyone. Yeah, this is going to be one of those ones where Grant gets a little angry. My apologies for any profanity and or frightening amounts of anger and screaming you hear in this video. But first, before we begin my dumpage, we shall begin with a poem, just in time for the holidays. Holiday poem. Come. No. Alright. I also can promise you there will be no rhyming, really, in this story. Okay. 'Twas the month before Christmas, and 'twas the day of Disney Plus Day. All through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The Dark Shadows poster was hung on the back wall with care in hopes that another Disney Plus surprise would soon be there. But when young Grant, the movie and TV guy, opened the app, what did he see? A true atrocity, the most mean-spirited of all comedies. What could this be? What could this be? Oh, I think you know. The horror, the awfulness that is Home Sweet Home Alone. Yeah, we're doing this. Home Sweet Home Alone, aka Home Alone, but really shitty, is directed by Dan Mazer, who, like everyone else in this, is to a certain extent overqualified. He is the director of Dirty Grandpa. Ouch, bad movie. However, he is the writer of Borat. What the F? And it's written by Mikey Day, who also briefly appears in it. It is, again, talented dude. Co-written by, I'm pulling these people to test, Streeter Slidell, I believe, who is one of the founders of collegehumor.com, with a story by credit to John Hughes. How disrespectful. And it stars, among the talent that is wasted on this film, Archie Yates of Jojo Rabbit fame, playing one of the most obnoxious child characters in the history of man. Poor Archie Yates. What a horrible script. Aisling Bea, Pete Holmes, Andy Daly, Ellie Kemper, Rob Delaney, Chris Parnell, Kenan Thompson, Esther Prodvosky. Like, how did they get all these talented comedians in this movie? Ali Mackey, Timothy Simmons. I'm so mad at this movie. I'm so mad at these people for being in this movie. There will be spoilers. I need to tell you this right now. There are going to be... I'm spoiling the shit out of this movie because I'm trying to get you to avoid seeing it. What is the premise of Home Sweet Home Alone? Well, a little shitweasel kid named Max Mercer, how cute, who is English. His mother's played by Aisling Bea, and his dad, I guess, doesn't exist. Like, they mention him, but he's never in the movie. Like, you think it from the trailer that it's Pete Holmes as his dad, it's his uncle, so where's his dad? Pretty standard setup to the original. They're going on a trip to, not Paris this time, but Tokyo, with the entire extended family of obnoxious in-laws. But wouldn't you know it, in all the chaos, they leave little Archie Yates, little Max Mercer behind at home alone. Meanwhile, in the much better and more empathetic movie going on simultaneously that collides in a most cruel way with this one, Ellie Kemper and Rob Delaney play a kind-hearted couple dealing with their own obnoxious in-laws who are trying to keep their kids from knowing that they potentially are going to have to sell their home because they're so poor. Oh, also I should mention that Max is an entitled rich kid. Like, they're billionaires, basically. Maybe not billionaires. They are wealthy. Who are worried about selling their home. They're dealing with their obnoxious in-laws. And are also trying to avoid telling their kids they're going to have to sell their home because they pin their hopes on a doll. Like a glass doll that is a slight rarity because doesn't work anyway, that I think an aunt gave the dad. Big problem though. At their open house at the beginning of the film, it seems as though Max Mercer stole the doll. So they're pinning their hopes on it. All they really want to do is work out the misunderstanding, get the doll back, ask the kid about it. The kid keeps pushing back. So they decide to go into the house. Well, actually, at first they believe... the reason they go in the house is they believe that no one's there. The point I'm trying to make is, these burglars are sympathetic characters. So what does Max do, as in the original? He tortures them! Okay, so let the shenanigans begin. This is the worst Christmas movie ever made. It's one of the worst movies ever. Home Sweet Home Alone, I said this in Keys All That and I meant it. I really, really tried to go in this with open mind, but within minutes. The moment Max Mercer shows up on the screen, about 3 minutes into the movie, I hated him, and I hated this movie. There is a scene where this kid is at a church that is holding like a Toys for Tots drive. He goes over to the old lady, and he's looking at, like, super soakers, Nerf guns, really cool stuff that's going to the less fortunate, and he says, "Hey, excuse me, ma'am, may I have a shopping cart?" That's our hero! I hated this movie. It ruined Christmas, guys. Like, I'm going to be turning 28 in, 3 days from now? Yeah, 3 days from now. I've gotten some great birthday presents, both physical and mental. This is the lump of coal, guys. This is worse than a lump of coal. The ending of Krampus happening to me would be a better alternative than watching this movie again. This movie... They go to... He pelts it... And the thing is that, okay... You're like, but Grant... The burglars got tormented in the first Home Alone. But the thing is... Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern's characters, the Wet Bandits in that movie, had the intent of causing harm. Like, they went into... The thing is that they were bad guys. They were actual villains. They broke into the house to actually rob the kid's house. Like, any kind of action in a movie depends entirely on tone. So, like, in that movie, yes, they cry, they get hurt, they fall over, but it's funny because it's at the expense of genuinely evil people. It's a power fantasy. But in this movie, there is a point, and this is supposed to be like a laugh line because they play with derp kids movie music. There is a moment, minutes after Ellie Kemper gets her foot burned, while trying to talk to... Like, every time Ellie Kemper is climbing the roof and she goes, "Max, sweetie, I just want to talk to you. Let's work this out." Totally reasonable. Knocks her over, shoots throws a diet soda bombs filled with Mentos at her, knocks her around, has her feet burn, and then she comes in and she's, with like the hair, and she goes over, and this is right after the kid is pelting Rob Delaney as he's also trying to reason with him with billiard balls. Ow. And then Rob Delaney gets up, and it's derp, 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 and he goes something along the lines of, "He hurt me, honey," and he's sobbing. And she's crying, like, lying on the floor, just getting electrocuted, and it's not funny, because these people are nice people. Like, there's no... And then at the end, they work on the misunderstanding. He didn't actually steal... They try to get away with it by he didn't actually steal the doll. He just stole one of the sodas. Their nephew had the doll at home the whole time. Okay, one, stupid. But secondly, it's... Then it ends with them forgiving them. Everyone's happy. But then the couple, who is destitute and was tormented by this kid, pays for the damages to the wealthy people's house. And then, the last line of the movie is, and also the whole time, Rob Delaney is also by every shit on the entire movie. Like, he's told by his love of, like, his kids and even his wife that he's fat. And he's not fat. There's, like, fart jokes of them where he farts in Ellie Kemper's face. It's really gross and not funny. There's a part where she comes up behind him and goes, "Hey, it's tons of fun." Like, why? What? The ending of the movie is they're shitting on him for talking about the cloud again, and then they all laugh where the last scene gets so cute. Little boy asks for a soda. The soda, same soda he took before. And he goes, "I don't know, but it's full of sugar." And Ellie Kemper goes, "Do it, honey. Remember what happened last time, when he tortured us." And he goes, "Don't bring a trap on me." The kid's like, "Ah." And then he goes, "Dear Lord, thank you for this food, and let's hope I don't have any internal damage." And then the kid's like, "You might, La 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 la, Christmas, Please Come Home by Darlene Love plays. I hated this movie. This movie was evil. This is I'll say this is worse than He's All That. Yeah, I said it. This is the closest a movie has come to Girl Who Believes in Jesus Orb. It's not quite over that because it wasn't racist, but that's about it. This movie is trash. And it wastes the talents of all these talented comedians, all these talented writers and filmmakers on this bullshit. This absolute just shit. This absolute dog shit. And then they have the gall. There's a scene in this movie where Timothy Simmons, who's like the shitty brother-in-law, to Rob Delaney and Ellie Kemper in particular, they're watching on TV. I think it's implied to be Angels with Filthy Souls, but it's like a sci-fi remake. And he makes like this remark about how, oh, this movie sucks. I'm so tired of crappy remakes who don't seem to understand the original. Pardon my friend. Fuck you, movie. And then later, the kid is walking, and they also have Buzz McAllister in this. Not Kevin, but Buzz. And they make a joke about, oh, well, he doesn't want to do his job as a cop because Kevin McAllister, every year to torment him, has been making fake Home Alone calls. But then later, the kid's running, and she goes up, and now at this point, she's understandably mad. Like, she's done reasoning with him. She wants to, like, just get upstairs, and he butters the stairs so they fall. This whole sequence is rotten to the core. It made me feel kind of dirty watching it, honestly. It was kind of gross and cruel and mean what he did to these characters. She slips, and then he hits her with powder, I think, and then he goes, are you done? Are you thirsty for more? I'm just like, I want to punch this movie. Stop calling back to the first Home Alone. You haven't earned it. F this movie. I will tell you this. To be generous, I laughed once. It was in the early part of the movie, and the other one was toward the end. I laughed once, and I chuckled once. One apiece. One laugh I got was all because of the comic timing of Ellie Kemper and Ally Mackey. There is a scene early in the movie, the one kind of, did I laugh? I guess I laughed, was, the boy, the doll is supposed to be ugly looking. It's supposed to be like an ugly, like a deformed looking doll. He goes, I'm gonna find that ugly boy. And then she turns and her nephew looks at it and kind of goes, like that, and he goes, oh. And she doesn't know what to say, and then his mom, Ally Mackey, goes, well, baby, I think you're handsome. Okay, it's kind of funny. Then at the end of the movie, there's like a chase for the doll, and they have a slow motion shot of Ellie Kemper jumping on Ally Mackey's face to catch it, and I was like, okay. 2. Otherwise, 0 stars. Home Sweet Home Alone. I reiterate what I said in The Girl Who Believes in Jesus Orb. Hostel Part 2 would be a better children's film than Home Sweet Home Alone. It would probably equally as violent. F this movie. 0 out of 0 stars. This needs to die. This franchise and the Disney remake machine just needs to die out. After the David Lowery Peter Pan. I genuinely kind of want to see that. Otherwise, everything else needs to go. 0 stars. I hated this movie. Let's move on. Trailer Trash and not much into this. No, not really, but they had a cute little the end thing after the... Whatever. They have the words the end in Christmas font. It's not worth waiting for. F this movie. Come on, Mikey Day. You did the Dinosaur Time skit. Alright. 0 stars. I hated this movie. Probably have more to say, but anyway, happy birthday, me. So I'll be back later for Red Notice. Next, I think, is Ghostbusters. And then, yeah. That'll all be next time, and until next time, I'm Greg the Movie and TV guy. See it all. I'm happy to share it with you, all the things. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, class semester. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Sorry for getting really angry. Sometimes it happens with movies like this. 0 stars for Home Sweet Home Alone. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Love you all, class semester. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Better than the people in this movie. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to give it a subscribe, if you want to give it the bell. I don't know what it does that it's supposed to do. Some of you already have. Oh, and if you want to find me elsewhere, rather, reviews, listen, other fun stuff, you can find me on Letterboxd.com at the Movie and TV guy. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, and skip this movie. It'll save your mental health. Take care. See you in a little bit. Bye.